constantly marketed to on social media, whether it's TikTok or YouTube or all of the other platforms. And something that has been coming up for me is that not really realizing when we're being marketed to, because I think it's every third or fourth video, maybe even more frequent sometimes, depending on what kind of content you like, that you're being constantly marketed to. And it's sort of sold as lifestyle, right? All of those like faceless aesthetic pages that are sort of Pinterest esque, that's marketing. And and it's usually when they're getting things, it's not the life of, you don't hear about how many times they take a trip to the thrift store or return items, or the bathroom products that are building up under their sink. They're not talking about, well, I bought this and I did like it at first, but then I bought this other thing and I like that better. And then now this other bottle is just clogging up the under area of my sink or my countertop or whatever. And don't get me wrong, some people spend their time organizing all their stuff. And some people like to live that way. I have come to the realization that there's probably about 20% of us that are actually minimalists in the way that maybe I am, because I really believe that I love cozy cottage, cozy minimalism, cozy non-minimal, cozy maximalism. I love it, but I'm not my grandmother. I'm not in the same situation that she was in. I used to love my grandmother's houses, and they were full of things that they constantly cared for and took care of. And I don't necessarily think they did it because they wanted to. I think they made the best out of what they had going on. And yes, we could get into patriarchy and feminism and the shifting tides of women in the current state of the world, but I'm not going to go there right now. I'm Lauren Teresa. I'm a former trauma therapist, single mom, divorcee. I currently live with my partner, who I will probably not get married to. I would throw a party and wear a dress. I just don't think I'll ever legally write it on a piece of paper or get the government involved. So if you are into all that stuff, and you're into frugality, financial freedom, and probably a little bit more aligned with some of the things I've got going on, then please stay and please like and subscribe and follow along. If you're not, you've probably already scrolled away by now or unfollowed me, which is totally fine. Everybody gets to find their niche. And so this is mine. Um, frugalism, frugality and minimalism are my jam. Especially right now, I'm doing a low buy year. I'm allowing myself some fun and experiences and clothing and all of that stuff, but it doesn't really feel good for me right now. And I think a lot of the world is feeling this. I know in America, we are basically just like, we're not buying stuff anymore. We're not buying crap anymore. I think a lot of the wool is being pulled back from our eyes. I grew up like reading magazines, all of the female targeted magazines, all of them, Glamour, Cosmo, all the rest, Teen Vogue, yada, 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 the Delia's catalog. Um, and I was always constantly feeling like not quite enough. I had sort of this security addiction. I'm not enough. You're not enough. There's not enough. Right. And that's marketing to a T. Right. All the trends, the grayish, the millennial interiors, which we have some of in here. This is a rental. But yeah, it's just, it's interesting because I grew up loving my grandmother's cozy cottage and people making fun of me for liking like grandma chic, and sort of feeling like maybe there's something wrong with me for liking old things. But I also just like really high quality things that work. And yeah, that's harder and harder to find these days. Even when I go thrift shopping, there's so much Sheen and Forever 21 and just throwaway clothing, 100% polyester, acrylic. What's that? Elastane. There's nothing necessarily wrong with those things. However, the way that I dress, my makeup, my filters that I have on, right? It's all because the attention economy is a part of my world. Now, how do we change this? Well, I consume minimalism and frugality content, and yes, some feminism content, because I want to be me. And it is hard. And I know I'm saying that with a filter on my face. I know that if I don't have a filter on my face, a lot of people are going to scroll away immediately. It's very early in the morning on a Sunday. My partner is sleeping. The kids are at their dad's. I didn't want to put on makeup for this. So here we are, because I know that this message is so important to me and I want it to get to the most amount of people. I do struggle with the fact that I use a filter. I'm almost 43 years old. I do not look like this. Take it in. This is not the real me. I just have to say that out loud, because inherently, yes, I have a problem with filters and the way that we see people online these days. But I also know that this message is really important and I want to reach those who are still like in the transition phase. I'm still in the transition phase. I am afraid of what people will think about me if I'm my, self. And I pay a lot of money for aesthetics. I still do. And I struggle. I really have been struggling with that a lot lately. Botox, filler, I do have a little bit in each cheek. I sort of regret it. I mean, here's the deal, right? Like, I'm afraid that I'm unlovable if I don't look or compete or compare or keep up. And a lot of that is because that's what I've been sold, right? And that doesn't just apply to my face, it applies to my home, it applies to my car. I have a 2016 RX 350 all wheel drive V6. I love it. I asked ChatGPT the other day how much money I would save over 10 years if I switched to a Prius or a Prius V. $25,000. And if I invested that, about $70,000. So it's great. Now that's been rattling in my mind. I am in this place in my life where I just don't want to work harder. I want to work less and enjoy life. And I have started to realize that not spending money is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This low buy year, I want it to be a low buy life, because I have spent millions of dollars feeding the machine, the corporate machine that's kept me sick, my children sick, the system sick, other people sick, and the world, the earth itself. And I have been on and off of my minimalism journey since 2008. So I really want to stay on it, because I was off of it for about the last 2 years. Well, 6 months prior, when I started getting back on it out of necessity. I think I forgot the value of a dollar. And in this economy, and renovating my fourplex after my divorce, and being on my own financially and supporting my children, and sitting in meditation, and thinking about how to save money, and then looking online on how to do that, and finding all these beautiful, amazing creators. And I'm semi-retired early. I have been on the fire train for so long, and it's easy to forget, because I have been marketed to over and over and over and over and over again, and I am not somebody who isn't also prey to this, right? Prey to this? I don't know if that saying's right. But anyway, I just want you to say, like, I just want you to say, I want to say that I really hope you don't compare yourself to me. Wherever you're at on your journey is where you're supposed to be, in my opinion. I can get a little woo woo. I've been sober for almost 19 years. In March, I'll be 19 years sober. I got sober at 24 years old. And honestly, like in 2008, I read the book Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez. And that started this whole domino effect of my eyes opening to the way the world works, because we weren't taught financial literacy. We weren't taught about how to take care of ourselves. We weren't taught about accumulation of things and this hoarding, shopping, marketing world, capitalist society that we are in, no matter where we live. And so I've really been asking myself the question lately, why I do what I do. Why do I buy what I buy? Honestly, the best frugal tip is to get happy not buying, and to realize that buying and shopping was marketed to us as our only hobby. And when we're bored, we have been programmed to scroll Amazon, to look online, to look outside of ourselves for the thing that is going to free us. I went snorkeling with my family who's in town the other day, and it was the most beautiful, enriching, soul fulfilling activity. And granted, I did buy the snorkels at the thrift store. Some of y'all might think that's gross, but whatever. It's not the stuff, it's the experience. There's so much of a world else. I moved to Hawaii for GD's sake. It's there for me. I see it every day, and I have to remember to love my life the way it is. So if you like this kind of content, please follow along, like and subscribe. I will always put this out there. I will hopefully provoke thought, and let's get free together. All right, I'm Lauren Teresa. Nice to meet you.